So I'll let somebody local there lead it so we don't have the Zoom lag.
I
So
pledge allegiance
Go ahead.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all right, that worked. Okay, there's 3 of us here. Who else do we have? I guess, is it just me on Zoom?
Yes, Jim said he was going to join, but I had to make a last-minute change because my 3CX updated, so I had to switch to Zoom. So we
Okay.
got 40 minutes to get the meeting done because it's the free trial.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, then we probably don't have a quorum at this point. So
do.
I would say, oh, we do? Is it only 3? I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. Okay, there we go. See, that's how prepared I am. All right, so we do have a quorum. So does anybody want to move to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
I make a motion, we accept them.
I second.
All right, anyone opposed? If none, all those in favor? Aye. All right, so that's taken care of. All right, new business. Welcome, Cody Perkins.
Remind Cody today to attend the meeting, so I'll have him come next meeting and do the welcome,
Okay.
so we can just move on from there.
So welcome to our virtual person.
Yeah, he is the new hire though that took Gary Watson's place. So
Excellent, fantastic.
he's been here for maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, somewhere around in there, and it's trial by fire. So we're getting in there and throwing him into everything. So he's got some good skills. It'll be good.
Fantastic. All right, Winterland.
So I just want to touch base. I don't know if you've been through the park yet in the past couple days. We got the new big tunnel up, and it is huge. It's almost twice the size of the other one, so I'm excited about that. We're pushing stuff along, popping stuff out. We got some stuff today. We got some weather things we got to get through, but other than that, it seems like it's on pace, and we should have another really
Can
good
you drive a garbage truck through the tunnel?
you almost could drive 2. Yeah, it's pretty big. So, and it was a little interesting putting it together because it didn't come with
I
directions.
am hearing all sorts of stuff from the other side of it, from the new employees.
Yeah.
You know, like for instance,
Yeah.
this is anecdotal, but like Steve Knotts, who's kind of, he was a lineman and kind of an engineering kind of guy, and he's apparently asked for the directions. So, are there any directions for this stuff? And you guys look like directions. What are you talking about?
The only thing that's ever come with directions is the animated tree. Even that, the directions weren't correct, but it had tags on it, where this one didn't have any tags. It was like, I mean. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
But
great.
once you lay it out, you kind of get the picture. The harder one's the front sign. The guy wrote the directions on a napkin at a restaurant. Yeah, and gave it to Brad. And so we had this napkin with like 60 pieces, and we're like, But once we laid it out, it probably took us like. Now we put it up, and
That's cool.
yeah. So we're
I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's rewarding at the end.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Winterland? If not, Playscape.
We've been working on some updates. I was just going to have Eric kind of just touch base on some of the things he's been working on in Playscape. Also, one of our major projects was to renovate Playscape that we have on our priority projects list. I will be trying to go after some ARP money to do that. But I did notice that Brownsburg is actually going through a remodel, and they're asking the community for funds and stuff. So I think I'm going to watch and see what happens there, and that could change our strategy on how we do stuff. But we do know we need to have them come out and just do an estimate and see how much it would cost. I think that's going to have to happen, and we may look at that. We've got someone who is willing to sponsor that right now, so we may try to do that in the next month or two. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to get an estimate on it. Go ahead, Eric.
All right. Currently, towards the end of the season, I go through and evaluate the playscape and see what kind of condition it's in. And there's actually several repairs that I'm going to have to make due to the under support of the actual plastic boards that they use, the composite. Some of the supports underneath are kind of sagging, so it's causing that the actual plastic boards, or their Tyvek or whatever you want to call it, those aren't very sturdy on them on their own. So if the support underneath is starting to dip, the boards will actually dip, and you can kind of see some sagging in some sections. So the nice thing is that whenever it was put together, everything was nicely covered up and hidden by way of actually screws and bolts and stuff like that. Which on the other end of that, whenever you're actually trying to repair it, it makes it a little more cumbersome to actually being able to get all of that stuff off and do it in a timely manner.
Burying all the screws.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it takes more than a couple of days to, once you kind of evaluate it, to be able to make a plan, get the parts needed, and go from there. So, but I've got a good probably 5 or 6 sections of it that I'll need to really dig into and spend some time on. So hopefully once we get into Winterland, I'll be able to have some time to really dig into it. So it's moving along. And like Will said, whenever we get hopefully to the point that we'll actually bring someone out from the actual manufacturer and allow them to evaluate it and see if it can be redone. I can make a suggestion on whether it should be or not, but to be able to retrofit all of the items, they've kind of continued along with vendors and providers and stuff like that. So it'd really be a good idea to get their perspective on it as well and make sure that it can be, and unless it's something that we totally have to redo. So anyways, that process is ongoing. So that's all I have at the moment. Any questions?
How old is it? What year was it built? Wooden playground.
I was in 8th grade.
Oh,
Madison was in 4th grade.
we just need to not be going there. Okay, anything else for the playscape? If not, we can move on to the budget.
So I just touching base. Budget was approved. The only things that weren't approved in there, we did not get the maintenance staff member that we've been wanting. So that was a little bit of a downer. But Madison is coming on full time, so that is a positive. So we're gonna keep pushing and try next year. I think I've been doing it for like 6 years now, but one of these years we'll get it on there. It is needed, so we can catch up on some of these projects and do the real maintenance sides. Happy with some of it, new mower, new truck, hopefully, and
New used truck.
yeah, possibly, yeah, new hand-me-down. But we are looking to do the bathrooms in there, and that did get approved, so I'm pretty happy about that because that's a project. I mean, we've been wanting to do
McGovern
for a
still
while.
the one you're looking at, or you got somebody else?
We're gonna do most of it is actually just cosmetic, changing all the fixtures, doors, and stuff.
Like the women's shower?
Oh no, that's a completely separate. This is the Ellis Park.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
train station
Oh,
bathroom.
okay.
That one's already been earmarked. We're in design for that.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's where my mind is. Because
Yeah.
You use more.
that's the one that needs it, though, or really needs it.
So looking at the pool restrooms too, we did an update on North Park. So and it's probably about as good as those restrooms. So we're and inside the pool house. I know we had talked about that. Comment items on our surveys. So it's positive. I mean, look, we got some things, we didn't get everything, but that's okay. Standard.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the budget? If not, next under new business is the winterizing.
So we started winterizing today. We're shutting down the bathrooms. So we'll be shutting down the pool house bathrooms and the North Park bathrooms, and then winterizing all the drinking fountains and everything throughout the park. Pickleball court or nets will be going down next week. Planting house tent on Monday. So usually we try to do a November 1st date as our earmark of like, hey, it's time, winter, start prepping everything. And then spring, we do April 1st. Try to have everything ready by April 1st. Try to follow that calendar as best as we can because it maximizes this and lets people use it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Well, the only thing I have, I've just wondered since we were, I would think that you're pretty happy that you're not dealing with Halloween. I'm talking about the
Oh, the haunted house,
The
yeah.
haunted house.
Yeah, it was a labor of love. We loved it, but the standards that the state is putting in for permits, the last time we did it, they said, we're not going to tell you yes or no that you can have this.
that's scary.
Yeah, exactly. So trying to put all the blame back on us, and you know, it was just a lot.
I'm just
We
thinking.
loved it,
I'm
though.
just thinking that we're so much better off.
Oh yeah, I think we are too. And the trunk or treat that we're doing this weekend, it's quick, it's fast, it still has the same purpose. We're kind of asking ourselves, should we do it next year if Scares on the Square is a success? Are we duplicating the same
Right.
thing? Maybe we need to look
Yeah.
a different angle, and especially with them being Friday, Saturday, that's just too much. So we may look at a different angle
Yeah.
program.
Okay. Anything else? If not, IPRA conference.
So we have our conference, annual
Reports
conference next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I just kind of letting you guys know. We also, Eric and I attended NRPA. There's a little wrap up in there from some of the things I went to. And then Madison also attended ICMA. The three CMA. So it's kind of like the PR. We got a lot of cool things, cool ideas from there, and we did as well. And we kind of have our last one of the year. It's not normally in November, which is not good for us because it's Winterland time. But we're figuring out how to make it work. And then I'm hoping next year they push it back to February. Way more convenient. Just have so many things. Prepping the DAC, getting it ready. Interland, vacation.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Reports are in the packet, so you can read up on all the fancy stuff. Nothing about going out for drinks afterward, though. There. All right. Next up is meeting dates for 2022. I'm assuming this is if we want to change anything or just keep what the dates are.
So I just wanted to bring this up. The town is looking to put all the meetings on Wednesdays. And they're looking to put us on the fourth Wednesday of the month. So every council meeting will be on Wednesday, every building, zoning, planning commission, everything. And the goal is to make it more convenient for staff. So then we would come in later that day. And then, hey, there's a meeting every day.
I'll miss some of them. That's not good for me.
We can still 3CX in too. Like if you want to 3CX in, we can. And we could even maybe move the times around.
I cook steaks down at the club. Fourth Wednesday.
What time? Well, I mean,
It's an all evening affair.
maybe I could ask Mark if we could go the second Tuesday or second
Tuesday.
Wednesday. I mean,
No, it's every other Wednesday.
so it would be the
varies.
same
So,
Wednesday?
yeah, it's not the same Wednesday. Go ahead.
gotcha. So some months it would work, and then some.
Yeah, some months it would and some it wouldn't.
Yeah, Wednesday tends to be my busy night, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, do we have to do that?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much because everybody is.
All right. And when does that go into effect, or
That'll be
at January, or?
It would be the fourth
Okay.
Thursday in January or Wednesday.
Wednesday in
It's hard
January.
for me to do.
All righty. As long as it's not the third Wednesday. The third Wednesday would be bad. Okay. Any other comments, questions? Anything else? Okay. Back to old business. Oh, go ahead.
Few things to add, just kind of. So we've been working on that side project for trails. You know how we would have discussed the. So we've been looking at that trail that we're kind of interurban trail that we're looking at. Well, I've got an option, an estimate here for construction on it to find out is this. So I kind of wanted to get your blessing before I move forward on it. It's $15,000. I'll let you. But it's $15,000, and it's pretty much the prep work to see if this trail is a possibility. Running from, I'm doing the estimate from Town Hall all the way to the fair. But some of the other pieces.
Oh, wow.
Are, yeah, which would be pretty nice, but there's some rivers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and kind of the goal is there's a lot of great, Hendrix Powers on, or Hendrix Health on there, counties on there, maybe some contributors to. So in this will also give us an estimate on how much it would cost. So, kind of, what do you guys think? Is this something you want to start diving in?
I love the idea of more walkability. Walkability.
Yeah,
is great.
it's been one of the things that we've not had to get out to that part of town. So yes, out to the fairgrounds would be great.
So I'll probably bring you something next month. And the other thing I had was just, I put the Aquatics Report in there. I got the final number for year to date. We did really well in the pool. One of
Really?
the best years we've had in probably 5 years. Awesome, and I think a lot of that has to do with kind of people wanting to get back out. So that's great. We will kind of have, there'll be a new pool in Washington Township, so I think we're probably going to suffer from that with the newness of it. But I think we'll probably be fine because most of the locals will still come to our. Yeah, we're just going to keep on keeping on. We did get the dollar raise for lifeguards, so that'll help out a lot.
What's the new rate?
I believe it's $9.44 starting. Still low, but gotta try to break even. Yeah, we didn't really have anyone complain about rates per se, judging on where. Creeping up that way,
Yeah.
for sure. Especially if we want to these people too. Or I had to add those. Finally got the numbers.
Okay. Anything else? If not, we can go through old business. We've got a first draft of the master plan, it looks like.
So Austin sent me over the first draft of the master plan. I'm going through and critiquing it, and then I'll probably send it out to you guys as well to look over and give me anything him to dive deeper into, or if it's missing anything, send it over to me. It's pretty long. Just warning you. It's not light reading, but there's a lot of good content in there.
Okay. We'll look forward to that. Concerts update.
Nate's already started looking at the concerts for next year. He threw in some really expensive ones trying to get me to bite on it, so we're going back to the drawing board. It's still kind of working there. I think Kelly at the Chamber's jaw dropped. I was like, great selection, but affordability, not so much. So we're working on that. We really want to keep that momentum going. They did really well last year, year before. We have good momentum, so trying to, keep it spicy too. Don't pick the same bands. Try to get those genres out there. So pushing forward on that.
Okay, great. Pool projects. I think we already talked a little bit about.
Yeah, we talked
some
about
things with
that,
the pool.
and I think on the last meeting we talked about how the climbing wall came in. It was 52,000, so it came in like 3 times what it was when we first got the quote. So we're probably going to have to end up going with the guy. It's more economical, and that one's still up from what we were. So we still got to fit within those dollars that we were appropriated, and I think, and they're going to install it and everything. So we're still doing the slide restoration. We have time, we may do some in-house on the playground feature inside the pool.
Love
Do we? Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Diving boards are a winner, so.
Yeah, and we went up a half a meter too. So it'll be a 1 meter one. It will be an improvement. And plus it'll have 4 legs instead of 1. That was our biggest problem, is the weight capacity will go up to 250.
Yeah.
250 pounds.
All right.
Yeah. Now it's up to 450.
The longevity of it. I mean, when you're bouncing on
Yeah.
it too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so much that it's going to snap under somebody. It's that after a bunch of people jumping up and down on it, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on pool?
That's it.
If not, football tower.
So we had Banning Engineering came out. They did a survey, and they're supposed to come out and fly their drone. They may have already done that. I don't know. They were supposed to text me, but they're doing a drone survey of the land, and then hopefully we can start on the dirt. Going along, just waiting on. So we're just waiting on.
Yeah.
Just trying to push along.
Quick, cheap, or good. Pick two. Okay. If no questions on that, then on to the awnings and windows, please.
So the awning, they did install a door over on the north side of Bostic Gym, so that's the first door that went in, but I haven't heard from
Into
them.
the little office room?
No, it's kind of going up the landing, going up to the gym.
Oh.
So the double doors
I'll
right
check it
there.
out.
They installed one there, but they haven't been back since. I need to send them out an email again, because it was supposed to be completely done in August. So all the windows on the side are the awning, they sent me an email last week, and they got structural okay. They sent me the drawing, so we are pushing forward. But 3 weeks before that, they sent me an email and said everything's behind or something. So it's like, I feel like we're moving forward somewhere in there.
We're going to have some signage there, right?
Any signage will have to get approved.
Because
we had actually talked about, there's the door and then the panel above. We talked about putting signage in the panel above. And
we need to have something visible as if you're driving down Wayne Street that you can see it. So like a hanging sign.
Yep.
I think we would. I think people don't realize. I mean, it's you kind of walk up there and you go down this door. It's almost like a secret door.
Yeah, I know, it's like a club.
Yeah, it's like a speakeasy.
Yeah.
And so we need to. I think we will help ourselves immensely just by having a sign there. Yeah.
And we need to
Well, either that or we just embrace it and put the little sliding window in instead of the little radio thing, instead of the intercom.
But we do that and we fix the women's restrooms, we will have more people in.
Yeah, I think so too. That air handler was supposed to get moved. He said he talked to him. So. All those things will probably happen on the exact same week. Because that seems like all of our projects, they just go, and then bam, they're all at the same time. stressful. But we do have
Okay.
progress.
Excellent. Anything more on that from anybody? Questions? Nope. Parking lot.
So I sent you guys the parking lot prices. I don't know if you, this was like pretty much 84 and 82,000 to do parking lot. I think we should probably put it on our priority projects list, though.
Do we have any kind of guess as to what it costs us to kind of repair from people parking where they're not supposed to, from not having those parking lots?
You're saying like maintenance of them parking in the grass?
Yeah, like have we had to do much with the grass and things like that, or is it just so buried in the other budgets that we don't see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot. It's more, we've been increasing aeration, seeding, and that's pretty much it, and fertilizing. So the more we put the good juice on there, it kind of fixes that problem, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, it was just more that's something we could use to say, hey, this will offset some of these costs, but if they're not that big, then that doesn't help us very much. Okay. All right. Anything else on the parking lots? If not, we could talk about the women's restrooms and the DAG.
Yeah, I was pretty much just going to tell you, we're going to meet with Battershell and go over designs. Once I have designs, maybe sit down with you, David, and
I wouldn't mind doing that.
yeah,
It's-
kind
it's
of
a
look
passion
over,
of
see what you
mine.
think, and
Trying to get more women in there. I just think our ratio, you walk in there, what's our ratio men to women? 10 to 1? If that, I don't know. Probably.
yeah, I think actually probably pretty close to
Really.
membership.
Well, if they don't come, they'll eventually drop.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments on that? If not, move on to the financials. Anybody with anything on that needs to be brought up?
I'm going to be doing a lot of spending in the Winterland budget. Have it all in there, but just letting you know that one's going to be pretty heavy. With reimbursement, won't come until January like usually. It happens just because they're collecting funds. So you'll see big expense at the end of the year, big revenue at the beginning of the year. And I will probably be coming back to you asking to buy a gator. Got a Kubota that's it's and we need to start thinking about the next, RT, start to replace it a little bit, and then major abuse, new thing, and the old one, then it'll last. So yeah, that'll be coming. Most of the pool stuff's done. There may be a few little things that'll trickle in there, but I felt like it was a really good year. Pool. There's really nothing major. End of year stuff. I'll have an annual report for you guys probably a couple of weeks into January once they have all the final numbers. I'm gonna try to work with Madison to try to pretty that up, like a 1 to 2 pager. So show people like, hey, this is what we do.
Okay. Any other questions and comments about the financials? If not, that's everything on the agenda. If nobody has anything else they want to bring up,
Let's
can
just
entertain a motion.
make sure we know when our next meeting is. Just
Yeah, because this is the Thanksgiving one. And
that's a good idea. I think because of the way things laid out, our usual meetings are changed. Let me look here.
I think we moved it Site under.
Got an RDC meeting on Thursday, the 18th. That meeting will be in here. Well, we could do it the 2nd.
Like the last few years, we haven't had a December meeting because you guys have been so busy.
Well, it's so. We just bump both of them up. Both of them early.
Yeah, the 2nd.
That'd be good.
December 2nd is the next meeting? Is that what you're saying?
Grab the calendar here. We were actually going to work.
December 2nd's fine by me, I don't know. Is that what you're talking about, the 2nd?
Yeah, are we talking about combining the December and November meetings to the 2nd? I mean, if we don't think we're going to have that much,
might make sense.
obviously until after Winterland, that's probably good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not going to be the 23rd.
And I will send out an invite. You guys will all have it in your
December 6 p.m.
calendar.
Okay. All right. Yep, that should be good. Any other business we need to take care of?
Hey, Bill, Elizabeth pointed out to us, she looked up to see who was actually the vice president. Turns out I am. So thank you.
Okay, well, I don't mind running meetings. I actually can run
and
meetings.
I didn't bring that
I
up because
wondered.
you were doing
I was a
so-
little confused. I thought I hadn't volunteered for anything as
You were
an
doing
officer
so well
position.
that we just let you go. So thank you.
Hey, it's okay. I run lots of meetings, so that's the one thing I can do well.
You did do a good job.
You did.
38 minutes. You got 2 minutes, and you're going to go to Zoom heaven here.
There we go. All right, let's entertain a motion to adjourn before we lose our quorum.
Motion to adjourn.
And I second.
All those in favor,
Aye.
say aye. Let's go. All right, thanks, Will. Thanks, everybody.
Do something here, Elizabeth.